Hey folks, I'm Dr. Howard Lux, orthopedic surgeon in Westchester County, New York. As I mentioned previously, we're going to be going through a number of questions that I've received through my website. And today's question is, why is my knee swollen? Now, there's many different reasons why your knee might swell. The number one reason is inflammation. So, for the majority of us, especially those over 35 or 40, the knee is swelling because of inflammation on the inside of the knee. That inflammation could be due to some mild osteoarthritis. It could be due to a meniscus tear, or it could even be due to something we call a crystalline arthropathy. That could be gout or something similar. For many of us, that swelling will occur after a run or after we ride, or perhaps even after just a few hours of walking. Oftentimes, the inflammation will subside and go away within a day or two. That is fairly normal for mild arthritis, moderate arthritis, or if you just did a little more activity than you're used to. So if you're not used to working around the house, or you're not used to exercising, and you start a new activity and the knee swells, this is not necessarily unusual and not necessarily something that you need to run to a doctor's office for. If you did not have an injury and your knee swells and that swelling does not improve over a few days, you can consider seeing an orthopedic surgeon. If you have fevers, night sweats, and you feel sick, you should see a doctor much sooner than that and probably even go to the operating room. Now, let's talk about acute injuries. So let's say you were playing softball, tennis, basketball, went running on a trail, etc. You twisted the knee, and now the knee is swollen, and it's difficult to walk on. This is probably blood inside the knee. We call this a hemarthrosis. This typically accompanies a more significant injury. So if you have swelling within the knee following a cutting or pivoting or twisting sport injury, you should probably see a physician within a few days. If you had a fall from a significant distance, 3 or 4 feet or above, and the knee swelled up very rapidly, there could even be a fracture in that knee, and you should see an urgent care center or someone in an emergency room to make sure that they get an x-ray. For those of you who had a sports-related injury or a weekend warrior injury, you can wait a little while to see if that swelling goes away and if that bleeding subsides. However, we should probably see you the following week if this occurred over a weekend. Oftentimes, this bleeding can accompany a meniscus tear or a ligament tear, such as an ACL injury. So, as we covered, there are many different reasons why your knee might swell. Sometimes at this age and above, it's just a normal consequence of our actions, and usually due to a little bit of arthritic swelling and nothing to be concerned about. If you're sick and think you have an infection, that's an emergency. If you fell from a height and your knee swelled very rapidly, that's an urgent evaluation. If you had a sports injury from turning or twisting and the knee swelled after that, usually within an hour or two, that's something that should be seen by a doctor, but it's usually not emergent or urgent. So there you go. Why is my knee swollen? I'm Howard Lux. Click subscribe down below. Check out my website, howardluxluksmd.com, for more posts.